Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I sing to. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just talk on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
millions, after 5 years in our parliament, millions collected and barely a word uttered, George Wright can really speak. The squabble over international aid relief for Melissa victims have brought George Wright a tongue. Today also is the day that the people of Parity will rise themselves from the shock and awe of Melissa Blitz and start their cleanup. Good morning, one and all. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. It is Sunday, the 23rd of I'm looking at the output. This new Mars thing has really confused things, but I hope you can all bear with me. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. To my community of Parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are continuing on with the squabble over international aid. Morning, everybody. Arlene, Andrea, Lynette, Creative Art, Real Sweet, Jamrock 8766, Philip Francis. Morning, everyone. Because it changed it to your handle, it kind of confused me when everything joined up together. But morning, welcome. Like and share the live for us, please. Pamela Akola, good morning. Good morning. Like and share the live, please. See it right in front of you there or right above you, depends on which of the ratio you're watching in. It is either above you or down there in front of you, whatever ratio, because it's create two different ratios. If you're watching on mobile phone, it creates a particular ratio for mobile phone where most of you have that particular view. But if you're watching on other devices such as computer, tablet, or so on, it gives you the original settings that we're used to. And what it also does on this side, it tells me who is viewing from a mobile phone as opposed to who is viewing from other devices such as computers and tablets. So this new development in StreamYard, it's kind of confusing, but it gives me more information and the back handle as well. But bear with us. You know, technology increases and it confuses the older generation of us, but we'll get there. But morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us. The weather is not too bad today, windy, but not as cold as the other days, and it's sunny outside, but don't be fooled by the sun. User UX7, good morning and welcome. Morning, morning. Let us remind ourselves of the doctor of what the doctor of death and danger said. And oh, the legend business has come under fire. Usain Bolt Chuck and Records restaurant in Western Jamaica was severely damaged by fire yesterday. That we also have the video of as well. But let's remind you of the doctor of danger and death, of death and danger. The doctor of death and danger. Let's remind you of what the doctor was told to do by his shadow minister. The shadow minister of health within the first 48 hours of Melissa. Dr. Dawes was out there telling us all the things we need to do, the measures that are supposed to be put in place to avert the road we're going down at the moment. And he was blasted over social media, particularly when he spoke of the cholera that was brought into Haiti by a lot of the aid workers then. And he was really blasted on social media. But we're going down that road. And even when we're going down that road, it don't seem to me like the doctor of death and danger is really giving it the urgency that it needs and throwing everything at it to prevent an escalation in an outbreak.
Bacteria that cause today's press conference is to announce that Jamaica is now experiencing an outbreak of leptospirosis with an increase in the number of confirmed and suspected or probable cases reported across multiple parishes over the last week. The outbreak follows the passage of Hurricane Melissa, which has created conditions that have increased the risk of exposure to contaminated water and soil. Leptospirosis, as we informed the public during our meeting, Let's Talk Recovery series on Sunday last, is a significant public health risk following heavy rainfall, flooding, or any major disaster. The bacteria that causes this disease thrives in water contaminated by urine of infected animals, especially rats, but also cats, dogs, and livestock. Leptospirosis can affect anyone who comes into contact with contaminated water, soil, or mud. That includes farmers, persons engaged in cleanup activities, emergency responders, and others navigating flood areas. The meeting last evening with my team confirmed that there are 9 cases that are confirmed, 28 suspected or probable cases. And these numbers are from October 30th, 2025 to November 20, 2025. The numbers reflect significantly more cases than the 2 to 21 cases observed in the preceding 34 months. There have been 6 deaths from among the suspected cases. There are no deaths from among the confirmed or probable cases at this time. 8 parishes have confirmed and or suspected cases. St. Anne, St. Mary, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, and Trelawney, with additional reported cases under investigation.
Sharon, how are you doing? To the United Nations and the American Foreign Office, could you please send these speech ahead of time to these people so they can study them properly and not look like a fool in the public and reading, as Lynette said, like a first grader? Maybe if you send that speech to them at least 48 hours ahead of time, but it look like when you send it when then just I got start the meeting. So they have to come out and take time, read and fumble and buffle through it. But an advice to the United Nations, send this speech ahead of time so they can practice what they must say. I look bad. Let us go over to Western Jamaica where the Legend restaurant
Feeling fire. My name is O'Neill Carr. I'm the acting superintendent in charge of fire investigation for the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
Can you tell us what happened here?
All right, so at approximately 1:48 a.m., the Montego Bay Fire Station received and responded to a call of building fire. Upon arrival, the team observed fire coming from the roof of the trucks and records. The team immediately got into operation, and within a few minutes, the situation was brought under control. Currently on the scene, the fire investigators are here, going through the rubbles, conducting various interviews, and to ascertain the probable cause as to the situation.
Do you know the extent of the damage?
Based on observation thus far, the extent of damage can be considered to be significant, but as it relates to getting the property owners to do their evaluation of the items that they had stored, but based on observation, the extent appears to be significant.
Is it upstairs and downstairs that has been damaged, or just the upper level of the restaurant?
All right, so Trucks and Records would have operated a two-story section of this property. The fire was confined to the upper floors, which houses the dining, the bar, and restrooms, and an office space.
Do you know if there were persons inside the restaurant when the fire occurred?
The restaurant at the time of the fire was not operable, and so no one was within the space. No business operation was taking place at the time.
But staff were here?
Staff members, there were staff members on the property downstairs when the alarm was activated that there was fire coming from the top.
So we know where it started?
Well, again, the investigators are here, and we are going through the rubbles. We are doing our various interviews to ascertain what is the probable cause of this situation.
We have heard that the fire started immediately after the restaurant went back on the GPS grid. Were you told this in the report that you have received so far?
Well, the truth be told, as fire investigators, we are trained to listen to all of the arguments that are out there, but we base our hypothesis based on empirical data that exists on the ground. So therefore, whatever we would have heard, we would have noted it, but we are solely dependent on the scientific evidence that exists on the scene. At this point, it is an active investigation. Therefore, as it relates to probable cause, we cannot speak to it because it is an active investigation that is underway. We're quite happy for the restoration of power across the island, certainly. We're not used to being in the dark for so long. So the restoration of power is something that we really look forward to, but as a precautionary measure to homeowners and to residents in general, please bear in mind that during the passage of Hurricane Melissa, our electrical systems would have been stressed. There would have been aspects of moisture lingering at the connective points. There would have been aspects of loose connections based on the fact of downed trees, So on our service lines that goes to our premises, there might be challenges along these ways. So we have to do our independent, our private inspection of our personal space as homeowners to ensure that our systems have a certified electrician come to your residence, come to your business place, do an inspection to ensure that my place is ready so that when the JPS returns its power, we are ready to receive that power.
Well, we will wait to hear the findings of their investigation in relation to the fire at Usain Bolt restaurant and what really caused it. Muriel, Monica, Elga, everybody, morning, welcome. If you're watching on your mobile phone, you will see at the top of your screen telling you to hit the like button. If you're watching from a tablet or a computer, it will tell you in front of you, right down there, to hit the like button. Make sure you're doing that, please. Good morning and welcome. The National Housing Trust, don't know if I understand it, put out a piece of information. You can screenshot it. You can screenshot it for yourself, please. Make sure you screenshot it. I'll tell you what it says. I will tell you what it says. Hurricane relief grant. Grant is something that you don't have to pay back. National Housing Trust. Financial assistance for Melissa for financial assistance for a home damaged by Hurricane Melissa. Applying for for family members. A current NHT contributor may apply for the grant on behalf of an immediate family member whose property was damaged, provided the family member owns the property, meaning the family member, the property were damaged, that family member who live in that property owns the property. The people who are eligible to apply are parents, for example, elderly parents, not a contributor, spouse, siblings, and offspring. And there is a website there is a link on the NHT website to apply for that grant as well. So, say for example, you are an NHT contributor somewhere in Jamaica where your home was not damaged by Melissa, but your parent or sister or brother home in Western Jamaica was damaged by Melissa. I think that's the understanding I'm getting. You then, say for instance, you live in Kingston and you're an NHT contributor, and your brother or sister or mother home in Western Jamaica, which they own, was damaged by Melissa, then you in Kingston can apply, you in Kingston, who is the NHT contributor, can apply on their behalf for that grant. So I hope that's the understanding, because that's the understanding I get from it. You know, Parliament need to revise. Too much politicians not doing their job. That's my opinion. The people need to put them to work, Pamela. Yvonne Riley, morning. So that's my understanding of that bit. And of course, given that we are hearing of cases of carbon monoxide poisoning, remember, do not use a generator in your home, in your house, on your veranda, near your house. It must be at least 20 meters away. The muffler or exhaust system must be pointing away from your home as well. It must not be near any doors or window. Carbon monoxide poisoning have no smell or sight or residue. It can be there and then you just get attacked and you're slowly poisoned. So always make sure that your generator is not close to your house, nor is the exhaust system in the direction of your house. It must always be away from your house. And yes, today is when the people of Parity gets on their way with their cleanup, because government don't really have time for it. But what we're asking the government to do is to reconnect the road. Come and fix the creek so that the people in our community can get on with their lives. I did not get the name of the charity, and this complaint comes very regular as well. The entire community has suffered from the damage of Melissa. Karine, how are you? The entire community of Party has suffered from the damage of Melissa, but those along the coastline have suffered more severely. Now, what some of the charity workers are doing when they go into the community, like certain people away from the coastline, if them book up on a house where the roof on, them I tell the people, them say them no need food because them have on them roof. My mother, how are you? And that is so wrong. Because a lot of people, money get flood away. A lot of people, house get flood out, them food get washed away as well. All of the local shops in the community are down. Black River is down. So the people them, even if them roof never come off, them still need that level of aid. And something is ringing through here to me like the part, because that happened at my sister's house yesterday. But my sister's roof was damaged, but she managed to put it back on. And because of that, they refuse to give aid to people who stay over there because the roof is on. Daniel, how you do, my mother? And that is so wrong. You cannot in this moment look at people and say because they have roof, they don't deserve the food. Obviously, we know that down a Party on a seafront is severely battered and damaged. But the entire community, Spice Grove, Springfield, Hilltop, Little Bridge, Gravesend, everybody get a hit. But people can't sit down and a taka and put back their roof on. And if their roof go back on, you're going to use that to penalize them. And this is why I want to ask, is it the judgment of the charity workers on the ground, or is that an instruction from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security? Why I ask this question, it rings through the PATH program, because to get support for the PATH program, if you have a flushable toilet, you're not entitled to PATH. If you have a TV at your yard, you're not entitled to PATH. So I'm wondering, is it the people on the ground exercising those judgment, or is it orders from higher up? But it's not fair, because even if people shopping on a weekly basis, mainly in Jamaica, we were told after during Melissa to prepare at least 3 days worth of food before we can get back out. But from Black River to throughout the entire community, the place, the shop, them mash up as well. Even Cousin Myrna, who operate from Fair car porch until she can put back on her shop. She said to me, say, nobody from Hurricane Melissa, not a soul come to shop and order anything. Because especially everybody down on the coastline there, the money get washed away. Banks in Black River don't exist anymore. If any bank in a Black River saved, it would have been NCB Bank, but Scotia, Sagicor, RBTT, them something, no, Sagicor get licked out down a gas station that's up on the seafront. So anything favor Jamaica bank down a Black River the bank wise, it would be NCB if not now going down there. So obviously, there's a lack of access to money for the people them. The little money where they did have, Melissa take it up and gone with it. So to be saying because you have roof on, you're not getting the aid package. It is wrong. Very, very wrong. It is very, very wrong. But today, the people of Parity will start their cleanup. We want the government to fix the roads so we can get on with life. Because we know say, we don't really care about it much. I will also go get electricity and all of that. But the road that separate the community, and me not really think one NCB did they cross the road there from up at the plaza the next to Jungle, which part Kenneth Davis supermarket used to there. One NCB no used to there, so. So therefore no bank no operating a Black River then Sharon because Scotia get mashed up, such a core get mashed up. So there's lack of access to money. They don't even have money. Oh, only ATM them have at the at the NCD in Black River. If it is working, that would be the only access to money. But then again, then card would have gone, more likely gone in other flood that take out all furniture out of house. So there's lack of access to money for the people them. Even if they have the money, lack of where to go and spend it. And not everybody can go to Santa Cruz or Junction right now because they don't have the fear. So you can't tell the people them say your roof on. Scotia moved to Santa Cruz about 3 years ago. So what bank side? So what did in a Scotia bank? What they operate from Scotia Bank of Black River? So, but then again, because they tell me so the young thing they don't lift up and move is the hospital, and if they could have moved the hospital, they would have gone with it already. Because it look like the city, the new city, a junction. Them create one new city at junction, tear them, broke down Black River. These people strategic, This is why everything, Sharon, was slowly moved out of Black River to junction because them know them they are going to pop down Black River to fix it back. It have come to sense now. It was empty, but now it is completely demolished. Yes. Oh, it is making sense now. I think colors give persons in crisis vehicle during a big blog of flood and which say and don't like them. It's all coming together now. Why? Over the last few years, Black River was stripped away. So tax office did still an operator, then did move that to Santa Cruz or Junction. It's all coming, making sense now why Black River was slowly stripped away and everything moved. So they might make way. They have some little operation in a within the Southwest St. Elizabeth line there until them fix back Black River. God go with you know. God go with you, Andrew Holness and Floyd Green, Donald Trump and the United Nations. God go with you know. That's why you destroy we over land. Over land. But then again, our America never go within land war. And the people of Parity, Minister of Health, and any volunteers out there who is a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, or a psychologist, if you can volunteer and assist with counseling of the people, we're calling on the government. We are calling on the government, the Ministry of Health, to look after the mental health of the people. Melissa opens up us all up to stand up and rebel against this digital society we've been pushed into. Because say that they've achieved their digital aim of going digital. Hmm? And we have a catastrophe like Melissa in a society where money doesn't exist. Do you understand how much we are at the mercy of these people when systems go down? Do you understand that? Do you understand the danger that we are harboring when they talk about this, what's it or other society? We should never harbor such a society. But tax office was operating, but see they now mash up. Do we understand the danger of a cashless society or a smart driven society in the event of a disaster? Do you understand? Do you understand how much you are at the mercy of an abusive government? Hmm? We must not harbor that thing. We must not harbor that thing. They can use it to starve us in time of disaster. Because when the system go down and we can't pay for anything, we have to wait on what we have to ration in on what they choose to give us. You know, the lots of starch. Hmm? You know, the starch of the starch of the starch. Starch plus sugar, and starches break down into sugar. Eh? Don't you gonna understand what is coming? I don't think you all understand what we get ourselves in a moving into what is called a modern society, a technologized and a cashless society. Remember, the Prime Minister did tell us saying he might prepare to move on a hard and fast into such a society. Now we will go over to the war, the aid war, the politicization of
Dwayne Vaz here,
this
German Member of Parliament.
has sparked back and forth from MP and farmer MPs and farmer MPs. What a disgrace this has turned into when we should be operating with national unity at the moment. The government and its cronies are politicizing, using the aid as a campaign mechanism to secure what I don't know. Because your very handling of this disaster will be your demise. Using at this time or worse moment the aid as a political gather. Let's see what we can make out of it. The behavior of this government is very disgraceful in the handling, the politicization, and the political campaigning with international donors. We're come for the people, them. We're just gone through the worst. Countries like Ghana want to know what them things they in a prime minister. Countries like Japan want to know what them things there. Countries like Belgium, them want to know what them things there. Because we see this government collecting plane load after ship load after container load. And we not see nothing. Nothing. No go to the people there. Look how much tent and sleeping bag Japan send. Nothing. Mattress, zinc, plywood, screw, nail, hammer, shovel, Prime Minister, zinc, where are they? Food. The aid war country. International donors, una look. International donor, una look pan war go on with no money, and no sending them.
Dwayne Vaz here, your member of parliament for Central
Pamela
Westmoreland.
Kola, thank
Many
you.
of you would remember when I spoke in parliament the other day, accusing the minister and his ministry of politicizing the distribution of resources from the government. And they denied what I said. The prime minister even went on his high horse and tried to deny what was being said. But what I can say is that since then, the ministry has been down here twice without consultation with me, the member of parliament. They were here on Tuesday, and it was late in the evening when I was made aware that they were here distributing resources, even though the former member of parliament was informed.
This government, this Andrew Holness led by gangsters and crook government has caused us nothing but international embarrassment in how this disaster has been handled.
Dwayne Vaz here, your member of parliament for Central Westmoreland. Many of you would remember when I spoke in parliament the other day, accusing the minister and his ministry of politicizing the distribution of resources from the government. And they denied what I said. The prime minister even went on his high horse and tried to deny what was being said. But what I can say is that since then, the ministry has been down here twice without consultation with me, the member of parliament. They were here on Tuesday, and it was late in the evening when I was made aware that they were here distributing resources, even though the former member of parliament was informed and was there. Today, the minister himself was in Central Westmoreland without consulting with me as the member of parliament, distributing resources. And guess where? At the house of a labor rights activist in Savlamar. That is where they were today, distributing the resources from the government. No consultation with me, as usual, but yet they claim that they are not politicizing the distribution of resources. I am saying what the minister and the ministry is doing must stop right now. This is not about PNP or JLP. We're trying our best to reach everybody in this disaster. We know the place was devastated. People need help. It is not time now to be trying to pick out who is who or trying to look props from distributing resources. So what I'm saying going forward, we would appreciate if the minister would make consultation with me and my team when you're coming in or when you are going to distribute any resources.
And that gave tongue to George Wright. After 5 years and millions collected, and all we know of George Wright is wielding a stool around his wife, George Wright has finally received a tongue. George Wright can really talk. But I want you to listen to George Wright carefully because there's something particularly George Wright refused to address. Let's listen to George Wright. For those of us who've never heard George Wright, in the 5 years he's spent in our parliament wielding a stool around his wife, collecting millions. This morning, I present to you George Wright.
Dwayne Vaz, I've seen you made a post saying that the minister is politicizing government resources. And you're also claiming that minister would have called me to let me know that they are coming. You also claim that I am saying to you, Dwayne Vaz, you are so wrong and you owed the minister a public apology. I would have heard about the visit from Nationwide to that location On Nationwide, it was published that Nationwide would be coming to Darliston and also to Sablamar at those locations. You also mentioned that minister would have called me. I have not gotten a call from the minister or even gotten a call from his ministry. I heard about it and Nationwide. I was about my business all morning and I went there about 1 o'clock to be exact. That time, everything was almost over. I am saying to you now, Dwayne Vaz, you need to go out there and work for the people. Stop complaining. You complain too much. The people are out there suffering. We are just coming out of a disaster. People have nowhere to sleep. People barely can find food. Why? Because you are out there complaining. I would recommend of you to go out there and ensure that people get back in their daily lives, such as building back their houses, getting some of the resources.
With what money? With what money? With what money? What money should Dwayne Vaz use?
That coming.
Why don't you call on the Prime Minister to make sure Dwayne Vaz get the necessary resources to look after the people? With what money? You idiot.
In from both locals and abroad. I've seen a lot of persons complaining that resources are coming to Westmoreland, but they are not coming into the communities. You would have heard all those calls. You would have seen placards putting up, people asking for help. The help is coming in, but where are you?
Then George Wright, if you turn up with Chuck, George Wright, and thief off the aid, if Colonel Charles distribute aid from JLP activist yard, because you don't deny that, you know, deny it. You deny saying don't call you, but you don't deny say it was a JLP activist yard. It a letter from.
Dwayne Vaz.
We could listen to George Wright again. Because 5 years and millions collected. 5 years and millions collected. I first never hear George Wright attack. Thieving George Wright. Well, the only qualification George Wright have to go in with Parliament is qualified to beat woman with stool. Other than that, we know of no other qualification for George Wright, but him reach a Parliament, a Ben Awagwan. Sean, reach a Parliament. Only qualified to wheel a stool, but he got there. And I first me ever hear George Wright mouth open, so me have to listen again. But you say George Wright can't talk.
Dwayne Vaz, I've seen you made a post saying that the minister is politicizing government.
Ask him when you see him digital coming out. He may go buck him up
that
before. Dwayne Vaz, be careful of that stool you see.
To let me know that they are coming. You also claim
and thief
that the minister went to an activist. I am saying to you, Dwayne Vaz, you are so wrong, and you owed the minister a public apology.
So do you with your wife and the entire country.
I would have heard about the visit from Nationwide to that location. On Nationwide, it was published that nationwide would be coming to Darliston and also to Sablamar at those locations. You also mentioned that minister would have called me. I have not gotten a call from the minister or even gotten a call from his ministry. I heard about it and nationwide. I was about my business all morning and I went there about 1 o'clock to be exact. That time, everything was almost over. I am saying to you now, Dwayne Vaz, you need to go out there and work for the people. Stop complaining. You complain too much. The people are out there suffering. We are just coming out of a disaster.
You don't know the difference of coming out of something or being in something, George, right? Because you don't understand English. However, you said that you heard it on Nationwide. You said that it was publicized on Nationwide. Are you then saying, George Wright, that Nationwide is the official communication channel for the government, which communicates with members of parliament? So if you publicize by Nationwide, Dwayne Vaz should have heard it because you've heard it. Who, George Wright, do you think have time to sit down and listen to old women and their daughters yapping? Because that's all that goes on over Nationwide, if the truth be told. An old lady yapping with her daughters. Who does have the time to listen to that? Does the government, George Wright, not have an official communication channel how to communicate with all members of parliament, particularly those affected by Melissa? Do we not? Dear Dons.
People have nowhere to sleep. People barely can find food.
Because of your government?
Why? Because
your
out there
government failed to
complaining.
assist them.
I would recommend of you
That your
go out
government
there and
provide the
ensure that
necessary aid.
people
That's the
get back
recommendation.
in their daily lives, such as building back their houses, getting some of the resources that coming in from both locals and abroad. I've seen a lot of persons complaining that resources are coming to Westmoreland, but they are not coming into the communities. You would have heard all those calls.
John got advice your
You
PM.
would have seen placards putting up, people asking for help. The help is coming in, but where are you? Can someone tell me where are you? Stop complaining, man, and go and do the work. You're elected to work. You get paid to work. I look forward to hear a public apology of those pronouncements.
Let's cut a deal, George. Quid pro quo, George. Let's cut a deal. You apologize publicly to your wife and the people of Jamaica, and then we can think about Dwayne Vaz. All right? Quid pro quo.
Which you have made, which are false.
I say where wholeness, everything wholeness run out and say is false. Everything gonna run out. Oh, Paul, how you do? Everything gonna run out and say it falls. But the evidence are there to show up in a public judge, right? Because video out there when we did turn up with the chuck on thief the aid, you know. Videos are out there. But you see, the people, if the people don't wake up, the people are going to be demised. Because this government is intended to kill off as much of you as them possible can. And they don't have any conscience about it. Like literally. It is the reason why Dr. Tufton and the government allow the disease outbreak, because that was always their plan B. If they not catch we in the blast, they might go catch you with the disease. It's all carefully planned. But this year one year him, the head of the hog pen. Head of the hog pen. Thrown into a deep end. Out of him depth. There is incompetency coming around from him, because coming to the PACC and not even have your notes, that's the level of incompetency. And to be drawing figures out of 10 years, to be unable to answer questions to our parliament, prove that you're dunce as well. God help us, we are going to say, you know. Because Uncle Kenneth always tell we, say, blind can't lead blind. It is exactly what is happening in our country. We are out of our depth given the disaster, but it's shrouded with wicked people and very incompetent people. Because in the public sector, you know, always get job because you're qualified. You get job because of who you know. You get job because of how low you will bend. You get job because of how much yes you will advance. You get job because you're a puppet. Doesn't mean that you're qualified. Look at Chris Tufton. You get job because you're offer up front. You get job because you're brown and pretty. You get job because you come from an influential family. You don't get job in Jamaica because you're qualified. And this is haunting us at the moment, believe it or not. In this disaster, when we need the minds to come together to design way how to pull way out of it, we're stagnant. We are stagnant because we have brain dead people, people who are unable to think, people who are so far up themselves they're unwilling to take advice. We are in a downward spiral, Jamaica. We are in a downward spiral. And with this cronyized, corrupt, crooked, gangsterized, nepotistic government, it will be going downhill at speed if we don't pick up ourselves and take back our country. Do not allow a digital society to be implemented around you, because you will be imprisoned. Do not allow a digital society to be implemented around you. Do not allow them to take away the physical money from you. You're going to be imprisoned. This will be worse than slavery. If we do not stand up, this will be our real experience of shackled slavery and the plantation without the chains, may I add. But it will be the real shackled slavery experience. Unite, said Marcus Garvey, or perish. unite or perish Jamaica. Marcus Garvey also told us we're never going to know ourselves until our back up is up against the wall. Believe it or not, it is up there. Your back may be so hard that you are not feeling it. It is up there. Blind can't lead blind. The people them we are lead with, now lead with no way. The people who are leading us at the moment is leading us into worse than what Melissa brought us. You see, JPS run out of money. JPS broke. And they say, somehow we may not get back light till 6 month time. Somehow we may not get back light till 6 month time. This is no joke. So we have a plan to reset ourselves. We have a plan to reset ourselves. Have I not always been advancing the argument that Jamaicans individually ought to go solar? Melissa has proved to them that I was right. Individual people are doing that. Another things Jamaicans you ought to do when you come back on a foot. As much as I don't like this guy, we don't need to cripple Sky and Digicel and Flow in our country. We don't need to cripple Digicel and Flow in our country. As much as I hate to do this, but Starlink provide you the service that you deserve. As much as I hate to do this, but you must cripple Flow and Digicel in a Jamaica, because all they do is that they are suck out on the money. All they do is that they are suck out on the money and not provide a proper service. Even when you top up phone, even when you buy 1 month plan, it lasts for just 2 weeks. When you buy a 1 month plan on Skylink, it serves for 1 month. We don't need to cripple Sky and Flow and Digicel in a Jamaica because they're not providing a service.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a question, but just for context. And I think the context applies across the country. Electricity is life and death. There are constituents who reach out to me, losing hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars worth of medication. And they're in a situation where they're unable to replace it. And sometimes I don't get the same sensitivity. Now, last year, before I became a member of parliament, I was able to get better information from JPS after burial. Now, as member of parliament, I can hardly get any information. So I have a question. Is the ability of the ministry to push JPS hampered by the fact that a formal notice that their license will not be renewed has been provided? Is there any detection of that? And I wonder whether any light can be shed on that.
No pun intended. PS?
This way. The information we've been given is that they need to secure financing. And because we have pulled on the license, if you will, my choice of words, they are unable to attract capital. And I mustn't say this publicly, should I? The time remaining on the license does not allow them enough time to secure capital so that they can repay within the time of the license. And there's no guarantee that there will be a renewed or new license unless JPS is willing to agree to new terms. And we cannot step back on that. Right? The country has been suffering high price of electricity and all the other things that we've been talking about for years. And we have agreement approval from cabinet to push for these changes. So the issue is we are now seeking to see how we can assist and facilitate them securing capital.
Do you mean by that a sovereign guarantee?
Not sovereign guarantee, I cannot tell you that. But what is being done is that there's a request before us for an extension of the license that will give them wiggle room, is the word I want to use, so they can secure some financing.
Now, Melissa has exposed or has bring to the forefront that we cannot continue to depend on the monopoly of JPS in the energy sector. One of the things you can do for your family if you're in the diaspora, because this is something has been picked up on since Melissa. You can check it out on whether be Amazon or eBay. What you can buy for your family if you're in the diaspora is one of them solar panel packages where you get the full package. On Amazon over here, you can get one with the 2-panel with the full setting, battery converter and everything for about £500 or so. You can also get a Starlink package for like £100 and odd pound. If you're investing in that for your family, Sharon Bernard, welcome. How you do? You get light? If you're investing in that for your family, I wouldn't advise that you ship it because, you know, the thief them, whether the Darrell Vaz and in thief them, they is turn up so like a man dog at the moment. They enrich themselves out of the suffering and the help that the people are getting. What I would advise you to do if you purchase such is you take it with you as an extra luggage. Yes, me know it's expensive, but especially if we were only entitled to one piece of luggage free from Yaso. But if you send it in a barrel or container or box, you're more likely to hear say something happen to it and it never reach, and then on which part it take out, pan this your side yeah, all about. But more and more Jamaicans are seeing the necessity of investing in at least 2 pieces of solar panel just in case of such a disaster. You can pick up back yourself before JPS go on the knee and beg the government, say, give me some little time now. Let me see if we can walk and beg some money to help me pitch up and patch up back the country. No, that, but I'm okay to charge my phone at my sister last night. Okay. So, we're in a sticky spot, my peeps. I'm not telling you no lie. But we always have to keep the people reminded of why Andrew Holness knocked down Black River and Parity were there. Yes, Prime Minister, why you try to sacrifice with? And once again, I would like to apologize to the rest of Jamaica.
Several years ago,
I'd like to apologize to the other 5 parishes who were severely hit by the attack that this government carried out on Parity and and the south coast of St. Elizabeth and Black River. I really we are the target in the rest of Jamaica. We are the target. So we apologize that the attack they carried out on you all, on us, caused you all so much. We really apologize for that. But say it's out of our control. But we have to continue to remind why Andrew Holness destroyed Black River and Parity.
Several years ago, I had mentioned that Jamaica needs to purpose build a city. We will now take the opportunity to properly reorganize the town.
In the end, I'm hopeful the science will win out.
But while it is destroyed, we can vision a future of it rising stronger and better.
You notice, and Jankro, you cannot appeal to us because we have sense. You notice since the hurricane, the Prime Minister is portraying a Michael Manley image with khaki and epaulet. I don't know if you see it. I don't know if you don't see how Andrew Holness, since the disaster, I try to portray a Michael Manley. The Prime Minister, don't do it. Don't insult the memory of Michael Manley. Don't do it, Prime Minister, please. Because we know better. Don't do it. Murderer. Murderer. Murderer.
Several years ago, I had mentioned that Jamaica needs to purpose build a city. We will now take the opportunity to properly reorganize the town.
In the end, I'm hopeful the science will win out.
But while it is destroyed, we can vision a future of it rising stronger and better. Because the truth is that many of the buildings were not properly located in the first place. They were in vulnerable areas. We will now take the opportunity to properly reorganize the town and to build back even stronger. So yes, we got a big blow. Black River is what you would describe as ground zero. It took the brunt of it and the corridor through the south of St. Elizabeth, through Black River, going across the island, going into St. James. That corridor was totally damaged. But the recovery is not beyond us. It's not beyond the government. It's not beyond the people. And we will get it done. So,
by the way, this gentleman is also from the United States with an interesting name, Sky. Sky Fitzgerald. Great to have you with us, but you're not here just for the hurricane. You're not here for the hurricane at all. Why are you here? We are here to document the human impacts of climate change-induced extreme weather worldwide. And events like Melissa have grown into such megastorms over the years that we really feel like it's important to document the impact on people all over the world as they face extreme weather events. When did you come? We came just yesterday.
Wow. And what have you found since you have you started to work things out yet and said, well, climate change is this and that and the other?
Well, if you look around, as the winds pick up and the rain begins to fall, I think everyone on this island is going to discover pretty quickly just how impactful climate change can be on every person's life, because I think we're going to see a lot of rain here.
You have some people in your country that don't even believe there's anything called climate change.
Indeed, that's the case, sadly. I think in the end, I'm hopeful that science will win out, and that facts and journalism will show that indeed we need to listen to the scientists. But I think showing people the brunt impact of events like Melissa is absolutely critical to that endeavor.
And is climate change different in Jamaica as in the United States?
I think climate change takes different forms in different places across the globe, but because the Caribbean is so warm, such a warm mass of water, of course, that's what allows things like Melissa to grow
to such scale like it is here today.
Does that mean that you've done this before with other storms, other hurricanes?
Yeah, we're working with a bunch of organizations, including NASA and NOAA, in different ways to document storms. So as well as megafires in the west as well, which are because of climate change, because of drying fuels. So this is just one piece of our larger project.
And who gets this? Who gets this? At the end of the documentary, who do you send it to and what do they do with it?
Yeah, this is a feature documentary that's shot globally. So in the end, we'll distribute it on major distribution platforms, and we haven't sold it yet, but it'll probably be on one of the biggies, either Netflix or Amazon or something of that stature.
Several years ago, I had mentioned that Jamaica needs to purpose build a city. We haven't really purpose built a city. We've never done it. Certainly not since colonial times. Maybe Spanish Town was the only purpose built city. And I had tasked the UEC to identify the area that would be best suited for the development of the third city. Two areas were in close competition. I'm not going to say specifically where, because that is going to just unleash. You don't want people to go and start to buy land and stake claim, and then you can't do what you need to do. So we don't give the details as to where. But suffice to say that the area that we have been advised is the best area to do an entirely new city, and it is because all the requisite elements to create a new city exist here. And you don't want to create a city that replicates Montego Bay and replicates Kingston. You want to create something unique. And therefore, this parish, St. Elizabeth, would be where we would be looking to develop our new city. That's a big deal, big announcement.
Big announcement, he calls it. But your government have signed up to an ungodly agenda that involves an experiment carried out on you. Yes, Opal, I played that video earlier on at the start of the program. Your government have signed up to carry out an ungodly experiment on you. Bear with. An experiment that causes many lives. An experiment that creates devastation. An experiment that they have everybody they need assembled, their documentary makers, journalists from all walks of life. Everybody was assembled because everybody knew of the experiment. Your government have signed up to an ungodly agenda that killed many of us, displaced us, devastate our homes and our communities, devastate historical towns and buildings.
I'm Chaplain Williams. I'm from the National Land Agency. I'm the supervisor for topographic data management. Today we're here in Black River, and my team and I were mapping the entire town and its environs as well. We're doing it for recovery purposes as well as to find those government lands that can be used as a part of the recovery planning process.
For the average Jamaicans, what does that mean?
Well, for the average Jamaicans, what it means is that the government, through the arm of the National Land Agency, is trying to find those lands that are within the area that was affected, that can be used to whether to house persons who are displaced or for new industries, for whatever purposes it is that the government wants, based on what the plans are going forward for Black River. then those lands can be used for those purposes.
If Jamaicans want to get more information on the plans, future plans, based on your evaluation, how can they go about getting that information?
Okay, well, based on what needs to be done, the parish council, which would be the Black River Parish Council, they will be the ones who would lead that process, but also the government, from the perspective of the local government ministry, would also play a part, and also the ODPEM, because they're in charge of the whole recovery process as well. Yeah.
It was always about land, wasn't it? It was always about land. That's why they manipulate the weather to attack us and then to play God, and for us to blame God and nature, rather than blame the United States scientists and the United Nations and our Prime Minister who have signed off on the experiment.
Humans have been trying to control the weather for centuries. Native American tribes perform ceremonial dances to summon rain during droughts. The Mayans sacrificed humans to their rain god. Today, people are still trying to control the weather, but some things have changed. Modern attempts at weather control don't appeal to divinity. Instead, they use technology to put chemicals in the sky. Cloud seeding, for instance, uses silver or lead iodide to try to increase rainfall in a specific location. What's also changed over time is the scale of ambition. Today's advocates of geoengineering don't just want to address droughts or improve conditions for agriculture. They want to control the Earth's climate to address the fake climate change hoax and head off global warming. That, of course, requires massive interventions. I don't think it's the job of the federal government to help these people play God with the weather. In fact, I think it's the job of Congress to protect our people and make sure that weather and climate control experiments and activities do not create adverse, unintended consequences for the rest of us. With respect specific.
It's highly possible, Sharon, because it is also said that him and Floyd Green own a lot of land up at Fort Charles Beach, and Fort Charles Beach clean up and wire off. So I regular hear my talk about in South Coast Tourism Corridor.
Specifically to weather modification, whether it's cloud seeding or other technologies, I actually agree with many of the assertions about the need for further discussion, further science, and potentially further regulation of these particular technologies. But it's important that we distinguish between fact and fiction, between clickbait and real solutions. So let's talk about some facts. Weather modification and cloud seeding, as was mentioned, it's a real thing. It exists. It has been practiced in varying forms since the 1940s. Increasingly, folks are looking at this as an opportunity to increase rain and precipitation, but the science is still out on many of these technologies, and we absolutely need to understand what are the implications for air quality, for precipitation, and the implications also for water rights in the West, because this could have far-reaching implications. But it's also important to understand that many of these technologies are in the R&D phase. They're in limited use in a number of states, and it's not actually technologies that the federal government even widely supports. This is largely in the private sector. So in the world of science, it is widely acknowledged that more science is needed to understand use, efficacy, and impacts of these technologies.
Crazy cranks and conspiracy theorists who were concerned about chemtrails and weather modification, well, you might have been proven right after all. I've just come out the most extraordinary 2-hour congressional hearing here at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. on that very, very topic. Experts all agreeing weather modification, cloud seeding, chemtrails, it's real. Here's what happened.
For years, anybody who questioned weather modification was labeled crazy or a conspiracy theorist. Now we've learned that they've been doing it for decades. One geoengineering company called Make Sunsets injects aerosol into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight back into space. I want to show you their frequently asked questions. Why? It says, unless we reflect sunlight, tens of millions of people will die, and 20% of species may go extinct. These climate activists have come so far that they are actively trying to inject chemicals into the air to block the rays of the sun from hitting the earth. And they want to take away our God-given rights over the earth in order to satisfy their godless climate cult beliefs. Potentially cooling the earth could also cause people to freeze to death, crops to die, and could literally lead to killing millions and millions of people.
My written testimony goes into detail explaining my decision to join more than 500 other scientists and academics from around the world to call for a solar engineering non-use agreement. Second, our 70-year history with weather modification should give us some humility in thinking that we can understand what the consequences might be. We've been trying to modify the weather for 70 years, and we don't know if we're modifying the weather. And finally, we have one Earth, and experimenting on it carries considerable risks.
Researchers are creating their own storms in a state-of-the-art lab. It could end up saving lives. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us a view no one has ever had before. What a hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world capable of creating a Category 5 hurricane over water. Brian House is the director of the University of Miami's new laboratory at the Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science. What was it like when you cranked it up the first time, full blast?
It was stunning. I mean, it was it was chills.
Nearly 40,000 gallons of seawater fill this tank. House uses a computer program and a single 1,700 horsepower fan to whip wind speeds up to 157 miles per hour.
This tank is the largest wind wave facility in the world. We can generate an extreme Category 5.
An extreme Category 5 that we had just experienced, and then the government start to use the aid as political tool and vote buying.
Dwayne Vaz here, your member of parliament for Central Westmoreland. Many of you would remember when I spoke in parliament the other day, accusing the minister and his ministry of politicizing the distribution of resources from the government. And they denied what I said. The Prime Minister even went on his high horse and tried to deny what was being said. But what I can say is that since then, the ministry has been down here twice without consultation with me, the member of parliament. They were here on Tuesday, and it was late in the evening when I was made aware that they were here distributing resources, even though the former member of parliament was informed and was there. Today, the minister himself was in Central Westmoreland without consulting with me as the member of parliament, distributing resources. And guess where? At the house of a labor rights activist in Savlamar. That is where they were today, distributing the resources from the government. No consultation with me, as usual, but yet they claim that they are not politicizing the distribution of resources. I am saying what the minister and the ministry is doing must stop right now. This is not about PNP or JLP. We're trying our best to reach everybody in this disaster. We know the place was devastated. People need help. It is not time now to be trying to pick out who is who or trying to look props from distributing resources. So what I'm saying going forward, we would appreciate if the minister would make consultation with me and my team when you're coming in or when you are going to distribute any resources.
The war continues.
Dwayne Vaz, I've seen you made a post saying that the minister is politicizing government resources. And you're also claiming that minister would have called me to to let me know that they are coming. You also claim that the minister went to an activist. I am saying to you, Dwayne Vaz, you are so wrong, and you owed the minister a public apology. I would have heard about the visit from Nationwide to that location. On Nationwide, it was published that Nationwide would be coming to Darliston and also to Sablamar at those locations. You also mentioned that minister would have called me. I have not gotten a call from the minister or even gotten a call from his ministry. I heard about it and Nationwide. I was about my business all morning and I went there about 1 o'clock to be exact. That time, everything was almost over. I am saying to you now, Dwayne Vaz, you need to go out there and work for the people. Stop complaining. You complain too much. The people are out there suffering. We are just coming out of a disaster. People have nowhere to sleep. People barely can find food. Why? Because you are out there complaining. I would recommend of you to go out there and ensure that people get back in their daily lives, such as building back their houses, getting some of the resources that coming in from both locals and abroad. I've seen a lot of persons complaining that resources are coming to Westmoreland, but they are not coming into the communities. You would have heard all those calls. You would have seen placards putting up, people asking for help. The help is coming in, but where are you? Can someone tell me where are you? Stop complaining, man, and go and do the work. You're elected to work. You get paid to work. I look forward to hear a public apology.
Man, go on with your face, laying like a overgrown soursop. Go on here. But Dwayne Vaz is not the only one who is experiencing this politicization when it comes to the aid relief. We full well know of the Prime Minister's trannies looking at a wife behavior in Jess's constituency as well. And it's not just the wife of the Prime Minister that goes there and do it. It's a pattern. It's a worrying pattern that I hope these international donors can intervene with the government who they've got a diplomatic channel with and say, we did not give our aid for it to be politicized or for it to use as a political campaign and a vote buying ploy. That's not what our aid is for. I'm sure Ghana, America, Japan, Belgium, everywhere is watching Prime Minister. Everybody are watching now? Everybody are watch. And not Dwayne Vaz alone, I have this experience.
I am currently at the constituency office for Northeastern St. Elizabeth, only to be informed that right next door, if I turn my head to the left, I will see where apparently the Minister of Justice is here in the constituency. I hear that some handing over is taking place and some care packages apparently are being handed out. I really don't know because I have not been officially informed. Why do I raise this? I raise this because it appears as though there is a pattern. Because on Saturday, the Minister of Local Government also came into the constituency. There was no prior notice given to me as a Member of Parliament. I was only informed that 60 care packages were given to the JLP Council for the Santa Cruz Division. The PNP councillors for the remaining 3 divisions did not know anything about the visit. And as Member of Parliament, I also was not informed about the visit. And I raise it because it raises serious questions. At the end of the day, we have to remember that we are the people's representatives. And we constantly say that we're not being partisan in how we approach the whole issue having to do with aid and relief distribution. But the truth is, actions speak louder than words. And the actions leave much to be desired.
And this is the wife of the Prime Minister in Jess's constituency.
Okay. Let me get that black, please. Let me get that black. Let me get that black. Let me get that black. Please, please. Get that black.
Issuing of building material phase. What they have done so far, your member of parliament would have gotten $10 million. It can't build a house. It can't fix up 10 house, 15 house properly. What it can do is replace couple sheet of zinc, you know, get something there. If you're carrying back your zinc, you can nail it up back. Do some small fixes. So some councillors will be giving, and members of parliament, particularly MPs, got it. Yours got 10 million, and what they will be doing is giving maybe 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. Now, the information that we have gotten since morning, every area has complained that they're not very hopeful that their member of parliament for here, Miss Jess, is going to do anything.
Stoking division, you cow-face bitch.
Wait.
Mr. William, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. You know why this is important? It is very important first for you to understand how government works. A caretaker is not on the government establishment at all. A caretaker is a political representative. The government cannot take the money of the government and issue it through the party. So the caretaker cannot be given the allocation from the government to distribute. It has to be the member of parliament. So I want you to understand it. Don't bother on yet, so you look like you're bright out. The one you help others. Don't bother on yet. Don't bother on yet.
Look how much labor right round Juliet, and he could identify only one bright one.
One, understand that the government is going to take quite a while before everybody starts out. Number one, what they're doing now is the recovery phase. Clean up, food packages, let the tarpaulin until they can move into the rebuilding phase. When they're at the rebuilding phase, they've started to gather information. What have they asked? government like me to identify everybody else in my constituency that damage.
This is where we are, my people. We have become family ruled. This is where we end up, you know. We end up in a family rule. We end up at the worst time. Look how much help come from the international community for Jamaicans, and them can't get it.
Various commodities consisting of 1,400.
Hold on, you come here. My last video I do gone viral. Now ask the Prime Minister to buy some tent for the people. After me drive around the whole of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland and Sissy, no garbage truck, nobody at all, everybody up on road.
Political intimidation, that's all.
Come like a
She did it, Elroy Chuck.
I ask the Prime Minister, say, email us, take the people and put them in our tent, fix a key place, give them a live on, hire people in the community, they work. Never know, say, Japan send tent. So you look like me and Japan, I think the same way. Me never know, say, Japan send tent. Then people, more of the people in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth who have a family member who attached to those horrific, damaged area, they attest to this. If you don't get one of them tent, put up on hand or comment. But instead, the man there a cell container.
Will be able to purchase. Some of them will be used to build housing schemes, which you can purchase, and a portion of them will be made available through social housing.
Okay, Alicia, Prime Minister, drive to Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and over. You know, so what the tornado do with all the container them. And if so be the case where these containers tornado tested, because you don't realize you want tornado pass. No. Why am I going to create a sense of frustration by letting the time? Send back some of the JPS quote unquote cybernetic smart city workers and go back overseas. So from 600 to 25, all out the time. The next year and a half, no light, so people get frustrated and leave on the area empty, so they can't take over. People not see the movement. Tell the people them say the garbage truck them blow away. Tell the people them say they can't find sufficient workers while people in the community ready for help move around. Tell the people them say boy light can't come back with JPS worker, them have to go back in the yard and the light post them not gonna fix up on here and blah blah. Tell the people say the container them not gonna reach till next year January. Because this is all about a factor of time. The longer you have the people them sit down in one place where there's no running water, no light, no garbage truck now come, no sense of your quote unquote hope and faith, the more they will give into the situation. We understand what I'm going. I'm a plan there. Here's the solution. I tell you them in the community. Start build back. Build back on the same property them I want. Start fix up on a place. Stop sit down back in the days, dog. The man used to the work and the woman in a cook. Ladies come off of the smartphone. Stop walk to every town square for this bomb buckler hotspot and then go on. It was purposely done. You get back in on a blood clot rhythm. Start act like in the 70s. We don't need them light. Some of the best food cooked on cold spot, dog. The man need to start act like man and start rub out weed and hand niggle. Every street square, every blood clot corner, they sit down and weep and they pussy them. Because that's exactly what they want, dog. Get up and work. So they get the opportunity to use up the trees them because they cut down the whole of them with the tornadoes. Dog, go buy on yourself a power sound, the most of a change. And start cut up and start fix up. These are some of the best lumbers we throw down a roadside, dog. Start fix. Go back in the days. These are some of the most beautiful homes. Go back and start fix, dog. Fix on the property where you want. Because that's the exact aim for what the pussy want to do, dog. You see me? Where am I going with blood clot container? Because suck your mama, you live in a housing scheme on hillside, where you going with container? Pussy. Let's go, people. Wake up, man. All in want to reallocate. Move them out of the way so you can start in smart city. Hey, they better block my blood clot smartphone. You better tell your friend, my friend, to block my phone. Because I will make the people them send you a blood clot prison.
Various commodities consisting of 1,400 sleeping bags, 350 tents, 350 portable jerry cans, and 20 water purifiers.
That's why we have to continue to remind you of the danger of the family rule that we engage at the moment and why we should not tolerate it. and why, if we let it continue, it will lead to our demise as a people and a country. Wake up, Jamaica. Wake the hell up.
Jamaica, come close and listen very carefully. I'm about to say something very dangerous, and it's going to burn a lot of people's chest. Jamaica, listen to me and listen to me very clear. This is not party talk. This is not green versus orange. This is survival. Because when the Prime Minister's wife becomes Speaker of the House, it's no longer politics. It is a national takeover. Let me say it again. So every Jamaican, every mother, every father, every elder, every youth, every policeman, every teacher, every doctor, every lawyer can feel it in them bones. When the referee of the game is married to the captain of the team, the entire match is rigged. The Speaker of the House is supposed to be impartial, non-political, non-aligned, a protector of fairness, the person that ensures that every member of parliament can challenge wrongdoing. So tell me, Jamaica, how can you be neutral when you sleep in the same house as the Prime Minister? How are you going to be impartial when the same person you're supposed to be checking is the same person you sit down with and have dinner with? Wanna see the madness yet, Jamaica? Jamaica, this is how dictatorship starts. Yes, dictatorship starts quietly. So wake up, Jamaica. Dictatorship don't come overnight. It doesn't come with soldiers on the road. And it does not come with tanks and guns. Dictatorship comes slowly, quietly. It comes through family appointments, friends on boards, donor contracts, and then shutting down anyone who speaks the truth. Jamaica, this is not a conspiracy, no. This is history. This is a pattern, and it's a fact. So what does it mean, Jamaica, when one couple holds two of the most powerful positions in the country? It means the PM controls the government, and his wife controls the parliament. And together, they control debate, decision, discipline, and discussions. This is not democracy, Jamaica. This is family rule. And you know what family rule always leads to? It leads to corruption, silencing of critics, fear in parliament, no accountability, no transparency, and no democracy. You see, every country that went downhill had the same starting point. The opposition can't talk, can't question, cannot challenge, because the speaker controls who speaks, how long they speak, if they can finish their sentence, what motions get tabled, which corruption cases can be raised, and who gets thrown out. So if the PM does something wrong, the speaker, aka his wife, can block. Yes, member, you're out of order. Sit down. Debate closed and motion denied. So tell me again, Jamaica, how are we supposed to get justice? How the truth supposed to reach the public? This is a real danger, Jamaica, especially for small countries like Jamaica, because family rule equals disaster. Why? Because nations like us, Jamaica, have weaker protection. What do I mean by that? We don't have strong watchdogs. We don't have strong courts. We do not have strong investigative systems. We do not have strong media independence, and we do not have strong financial independence. So when one family becomes too powerful in this small country of Jamaica, the country becomes controlled, silenced, afraid, dependent and corrupt. Nepotism Jamaica is not bad optics. Nepotism is a national danger. And while Jamaica is suffering, power is being consolidated. Look at the timing, Jamaica. We are in a hurricane disaster. People homeless, roads destroyed, hospitals collapsing, food shortage, water.
Sharon, neither FID or Integrity Commission or MOCA are effective unless they are independent of government instruction and government corruption. Because if these organizations weren't taking instruction from government, only if a politician door wouldn't get kicked down and them home wouldn't raid and they would be up in front of the court. It is the political corruption and interference of law enforcement in Jamaica. And the Integrity Commission doesn't have enough teeth, because the Integrity Commission, a body like that, ought to have power of warrant, power of seizure search, power to kick off door and enter, and all of that. Unless you have those powers with the independency of political corruption, we're going to be biffing and baffing along our way, getting to nowhere.
Shortage, economic crisis, crime rising, earthquake warnings, oil drilling threats, and foreign companies taking resources. And in the middle of all of this, power is being tightened, not shared. When a country is unstable, leaders should decentralize power. But in Jamaica, they are centralizing it in one household. And Jamaica, this is how nations fall. Listen to me, Jamaica. This is not about politics. This is about structure. Take off on the green glasses, take off on the orange glasses, and for one, look at Jamaica with your own eyes, not through party color. When the PM controls the executive and his wife controls the parliament, there is no checks and balance, Jamaica. None. Zero. Finished. And a country without checks and balance is a country preparing for dictatorship. Jamaica, listen to me good. When the people in power start placing their family in the highest seat, you are no longer being governed. You are being managed. You are being handled. You are being controlled, and you are being silenced. You cannot question, you cannot challenge, you cannot oppose, and you cannot win. This is not democracy. This is not representation. Jamaica, this is capture. One family cannot lead an entire country. One house cannot control two houses of government. And Jamaica, if you don't speak now, if you don't wake up now, if you don't rise now, you're going to open your eyes one day and realize that you are living in a country where one woman, one man have the final say on the breath you breathe. So Jamaica, wake up now.
And a final word this morning from Marcus Garvey: unite or perish. Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, the God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. sit aside a rub and cheat. And now first the four. Make God, what I seen him. Big him and throw and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a block. Big him and throw and stone. And they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see, they can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just talk on the Friday. You must go and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, you must go and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.